Snipers, you have to see what's happening to the Bitcoin price this Friday, as this is not an emergency update, as we've already done all the hard work over the last week here on the Snipers channel. For those that have been tuned in, we've been the most accurate cryptocurrency channel on the internet, especially over the last week, predicting every single aspect of this market. And today we have a lot to talk about when it comes to our potential weekend destinations for Bitcoin, as we are already testing levels above 40,000. We're going to talk about some potential moving averages that we could start testing. And then we're going to look at some of the four-dimensional revolving parts, how we're starting to close the week. I had to get this video update out to you guys right now as traditional markets started to close their cash session. So remember to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm for these quick updates. So I'm not going to go too crazy today. Once again, this is not an emergency update, but we have a lot to look at. We have a lot to clean up on the charts, a little bit of some predictions to make, and remember to smash the like button once again for the YouTube algorithm so we can hit 100,000 subscribers on the Snipers channel, being the #1 cryptocurrency technical analysis on the internet. Let's just first talk about some of these charts that I found in our Discord from some members. With this breakout of this major structural resistance, a lot of people are saying that we're going to come towards the $42,000 to $45,000 level. Here are different charts that I found on the Discord today. A lot of people predicting potential upside here into the weekend. I like this one a lot here, 41,950 as our C wave for the corrective move. And then even this one here showing 41,950 here as our C wave with some Fibonacci. And so let's actually look at our charts, because of course we've been the most accurate cryptocurrency channel on the internet. And I do want to thank all of you in the Discord for contributing your analysis. It's certainly helped me. And so first and foremost, what we looked at yesterday with our emergency update that I posted at 3 a.m. was this major channel resistance that we were potentially going to break. And we've already broken this channel resistance, and you can see it looks like Bitcoin wants to head towards its 50-day moving average. And so this is going to be our first area of interest. And we're going to go into this Bitcoin to US dollar chart and talk about where this 50 period moving average is sitting on the daily chart, because there is some significance here. If we can come up to this 50-day moving average, it actually would put us above 41,950, which at this point is going to be our first upside target for Bitcoin. If we can wick towards this 50-day moving average sitting just above 41,950, like let's say the $42,000 to $43,000 level, in my opinion, that would be an early confirmation that we are not going to be coming down to test 38,000 anytime soon. But right now, what we need to keep in mind, Snipers, is that the range that we're playing in has a support of 38,000 with a resistance of 41,950. And so knowing that this is the range that we're in, we have to realize coming into the weekend, we want to expect volatility within this range here. Now, why have I been so adamant about Bitcoin moving above 38,000? Well, now we don't need to start looking at price targets below 34,788 in the immediate short term, because we know we already got institutional volume here at 34,788 on the daily chart and the 6-hour chart, on the 4-hour chart, even the 1-hour chart. And so could this be a potential short-term bottom for maybe a few months, a few, let's say, years? Who knows? For now, we're getting the best shot at that being the case. The reason that's important is we could potentially not see Bitcoin ever come back below 33,000, depending on how things mature over the next few months. But I am quite confident in the short and medium term, the immediate short and medium term, that we're not going to come back down to 33,000. Why would that happen with the four-dimensional revolving parts in our favor, which we're going to talk about in just a second, until we start to see the four-dimensional aspects of this market go against us, as it did when we initially dropped below 50,000 and we predicted 33,000 as our bottom. Then we can start talking about downside targets. But for now, we're going to throw the bearish downside targets out the window for now and talk about the potential upside targets and the destinations that Bitcoin could potentially be heading towards. And so 41,950 to the $43,000 level would be super nice to see here on the weekend. And it would be even better, of course, if we can get towards 44,800. So the main goal, I think, for the bulls at this point, now that we've broken the major channel, the descending channel resistance that has held us down since 69,000, is to now get above 41,950 and reconquer this $40,000 level. The importance of that is it puts us away from 38,000, which at this point, if we come down to test 38,000 at any point, we must hold this level to assume more upside targets. I'm pretty confident we're going to hold 38,000 through this weekend just based on how traditional markets close. We'll talk about some of the trades that we've taken here to close the week, as we love to take trades on Friday. And so understand that right now Bitcoin is doing exactly what we've been expecting. Nothing that is surprising here. And then just to put it on the video and mark our words, 49,700 is the big target for Bitcoin at this point, to assume that we could continue to see new all-time highs in price discovery. And there's a reason the 200-day and the 100-day is sitting there. So until we get to that level, we cannot assume that we're not going to see further downside. Understand that this is a schematics that has to play part if we want to assume Bitcoin can continue into price discovery. And so congratulations for those that took our trade at 35,000 US dollars for Bitcoin. For those in the Discord group, you know we send cryptocurrency, Forex, and stock signals on a daily basis. And we took many long trades on Bitcoin below 36,000. Took a day trade, we took a swing trade. And so I'm expecting 49,700 as a potential target there with 30% profits. And talking about trades, let's look at some headlines. By the way, we did enter a trade in Meta today, Facebook, at 234 US dollars. We already hit our first target at $240. The reason I entered this trade is because, of course, Facebook dropped over 20%, shedding over $200 billion in market cap. And here on the Snipers channel, we love to buy into the fear and we love to sell into the greed, right? So you guys probably have gotten accustomed to the fact that when everyone is bullish, I'm bearish. When everyone is bearish, I'm bullish. And for those that have been tuned in with us for over 3 years, you know how well that's worked out every single time for us. Very few times that has not worked out for us, because on our red days, we prepare for our green days, and on our green days, we prepare for our red days, right? So we took a trade on Facebook. Now, Will Clemente, on-chain analyst, probably the number one on-chain analyst, also expecting 40 to 41,000 to act as a resistance. I think we'll hit 41,950, maybe at least a wick during this weekend. And so it's good to see that everyone else is on the same page. Some headlines to cover before we get into some revolving parts, because I do want to talk about Bitcoin dominance and altcoins. Employers added 467,000 jobs in January. We had our job numbers come out today. Above all estimates, we could apply this narrative to the reason we saw upside today. But, you know, they're going to attach a narrative to every piece of price action in the market. We already knew the markets were doing well before the job numbers. Futures were up, and we've been looking at revolving parts like the tech stocks, and they've bottomed out for the most part so far. So, you know, this is all stuff that it's black and white when you look at a chart, and then of course the rainbow colors come with the fundamental analysis, and those are always narratives that people want to attach to the price action, but charts are black and white, and that's why we love covering charts. So it's nice to see the unemployment rate ticked up to 4% while hourly wages jumped. The jobs report blew away expectations across the board, said Cliff Hoge, Chief Investment Officer for Cornerstone Wealth. The report is unequivocally good for the economy, but not for the markets, as the strength in the numbers presents another data point which supports more aggressively hawkish Fed action. So that's a bearish puzzle piece, that because we're seeing such good numbers, it's time for the Feds to raise rates, and that could affect asset prices in the long term. But so far, nothing to be worried about. Amazon shares surged Friday to the biggest increase in almost 7 years, generating the largest single-day gain in market value in U.S. history. Why is this important? That's the last headline to cover today. Because I told you guys, $250 billion coming out of Facebook had to go somewhere. Amazon, Bitcoin, all of these places are where the money went. And so it's interesting, on the Discord, I said this today. The metaverse has to be in a bubble that pops, just like the .com bubble, if we really want to see innovation emerge. And Bitcoin is the storage of value for the metaverse. And so that's an interesting segue into the charts, because I want to talk about something important to watch. Now that we've covered Bitcoin, we know the range, 41,950, 38,000 now, not an emergency today. But here's something that I think could start developing, because when we see price action like this, we see, Bitcoin up 8%, Ethereum up 10% in a day. We have to start looking at the revolving parts to see what else is happening during this time. This 24 hours is extremely important for those that want to prepare for the future, right? Because we want to see how the revolving parts, specifically Bitcoin dominance, altcoin dominance, is reacting to this price action, because that will give us an idea of where this liquidity is coming from, what the market makers are planning next. And here's something extremely interesting today. The altcoins outside of Ethereum down 1.65%, looking like it wants to break down from this channel support that it's currently testing here, not for a third time, but for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 time. You knock on a door 6 times, someone's gonna let you in. And so are we gonna be seeing altcoins outside of Ethereum, including Ethereum? Because look at the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart. I said this in the Discord today for those that were in the crypto chat. Why did the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart break back down into its triangle if we're so bullish in the macro? Are we going to expect downside for altcoins outside of Ethereum, including Ethereum, when it comes to dominance? And what does that imply? That there's fear coming into the cryptocurrency market. Remember what I said, the metaverse might be a .com bubble. And just like Amazon dropped 90% during the .com bubble in 2000 and took 14 years to recover, do we need to see a bubble pop in the metaverse for us to really see true innovation emerge? Do we actually have to see capital being put to work versus just sitting in coins for this to actually become something, right? Because this metaverse is just this thing that nobody actually understands or knows about. But guess what? Bitcoin, we know for damn sure, is going to be the storage of value, the digital version of gold in the metaverse. Are we going to be seeing Bitcoin dominance move up and altcoins start to bleed against Bitcoin? And that could be in 2 different ways. Number one, if we start to see the market move sideways, that could really hurt altcoins. Altcoins could start bleeding out while Bitcoin sees minimal downside. That's why Bitcoin's a hedge. That's why during fear in the cryptocurrency market, maybe if there's fear of the innovation actually progressing and maturing into actual use case, they could move capital away from these altcoins into Bitcoin as a hedge for the next 5 to 10 years. Are we seeing the early signs of that right now? Is the liquidity that's coming into Bitcoin just coming from altcoins right now, like Ethereum and other altcoins, as a hedge to protect against potential downside? And the second thing is we could see continued upside in the market, but maybe Bitcoin outperforms. I think that's a lot less likely with a potential short-term top so far at 69,000. And so that's just something to note for those. And with that being said, I do want to address this. Traditional markets, the revolving parts, nothing to be worried about. The DXY, we predicted that Bitcoin was going to break out of 38,000 last night at 3 a.m. because we came down to the 100-day moving average for a second time. That shows weakness for the DXY. You knock on a door for a second time, the likelihood that it breaks becomes highly likely. We're staying below 95.885 to close the week, which is a major resistance now for the DXY. And so that's some food for thought. Very good puzzle piece. That means that we're not just seeing a calm DXY, but we're also seeing a weak dollar right now coming into the week. I don't care what the headlines say. We're looking at the black and white charts here. And so that's a good thing. S&P 500 closing with in between its 100 and 200-day moving average is exactly what we want to see. And that tells us that there's calmness in the markets. U.S. oil closing the week with new yearly highs in reaction to the DXY. That's a very positive thing to see there, because with U.S. oil strengthening as a commodity, we could consider Bitcoin a commodity in some aspect. I think some countries actually do consider Bitcoin as a commodity. And so the point is, the U.S. dollar coming down is affecting oil. That's also affecting Bitcoin to raise prices, right? So great end to the week. Hope you guys enjoyed this video update, this non-emergency video. And we cleaned up our mess, huh? We did a lot of good work over the last week, I'd say, predicting insane numbers like 36,250 being the make it or break it with that previous weekly open, and that held on the dot to the dollar to the cent. And then 38,000 initially, we said if it broke down from there, that was going to be a small concern in the short term. Man, we have the most accurate cryptocurrency channel in the world. Let's hit 100,000 subscribers, snipers. And once again, I appreciate each and every one of you. I wish you have an amazing weekend. I'm here enjoying the sunset, about to go to the gym. And if you guys enjoy this content and support this content, remember to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on Bitcoin in the comments. Do you guys think that we're gonna come back down, test 38,000, or are we gonna break above 41,950? I'll respond to each and every comment. And with that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Sniper, or if there's price action, I'll see you in 2 hours, right? I'm gonna always be there for you guys now that we're doing these mobile updates. That's kind of the give and get, right? So, or the give and take there. I don't gotta be in front of my computer now. So, but in return, I got to be on time for you guys now. So, don't think I'm just taking the easy route with the phone. It's certainly the more enjoyable route. I definitely enjoy more, oxygen and outdoors, sometimes indoors, during our videos versus just being behind a computer. And with that, maybe I'll start doing live streams every Sunday or something where we can have more long form content behind the computer to just kind of satisfy that side of our audience. Because there's been a little battle in the comments saying, oh man, these mobile updates are a little bit different, so forth. But, over the last week, I think it's definitely proven itself since we had the most accurate cryptocurrency channel that I've seen on the internet. And with that, thank you all for tuning in once again. I'll see you guys next time. Snipers.